Hi, friends. My name is host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. And today I asked a provocative question. What do you want to be when you grow up? That's a good title. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a dentist. Someday when I grow up, I want to be a dentist. Who doesn't want to be a dentist? In childhood, that was one of my first answers as to what I wanted to do as a job. Because, of course, if I poor doesn't get those questions, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up or whatever? I don't know. I don't even get the question. A dentist? I guess, is that the right answer? Is there a right answer to this question? I never understood the answer to it. A stockbroker was one of my other answers that I give. Because I didn't get the concept that you're supposed to choose a job based on what you like to do or something. I never really quite understood that whole what's your favorite thing, It's like, what are you talking about? My favorite I don't have a favorite I just have a series of that I either enjoy or don't enjoy. How many does it take up to make a meowity? 4. So we're going to have a busy day today, I think, Rachel and I. We're going to have to go back to the weed store. Right, so we got this ounce on Saturday night. We're going to be done with it by today. So let's see. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like 2 ounces a week. That's a lot of weed to smoke. It's an ounce a piece. Hi, Union SZN. Well, hello, sexy to you too. Are you a highly sensual being? Dustin Salisbury says he had a similar relationship to that question. His first answer was astronomer. Right. It's like when you're an NTP, maybe Dustin Salisbury is, I don't know, maybe he's an NFJ or something. When you're a highly metaphysical type and you're asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? You just come up with some sort of answer. What's a job? Forest ranger? I don't know. Union SZN is an ESFJ, and his dream is to make people happy. He wants to entertain people. Well, you clearly understand what you want. How fun for you. Even though you're ignoring your FI, you still get it. You still get the juicy choices, they're called. When you get the juicy choices in your heart, you know it's time for choosing choices that are art. It's the old saying. That's what they say. Anywho, so yeah, we've gone through this ounce in about 3 days. We smoke a lot of weed. Rachel says, can you roll me a joint? The thing is, that's not really a very efficient way to smoke weed. I know, right? El Nino, my ass. I am glad we met, Abraham. No, you've been a very important person in my life. Really significant. You have a huge role in my life, even though it's not active at the moment, really. But I would love to change the Secretary of Defense's title back to Secretary of War. Make it honest, And you shaped my view too, Abraham. Working with you, dealing with you, everything. You've been an important figure in my life. You really have. Are we almost out? Oh, yeah. Says me and Eric never let anyone infringe against my negative rights. That's good to know. It's been so long since last I've seen my son into this monster. This monster. Since you've been gone. I was listening to that on loop before I started this stream. I've got it down now. I've got the song in my head proper. It took me a while to get it in my head all the way. Hi, Susie. Look, it's Abraham's girlfriend. Abraham, why are you always bringing your dumb girlfriend around? God, I want to hang out with Abraham, and it's like, here comes Susie again, bringing his dumb girlfriend around. It's like, God, we're supposed to have a dude's time. We're gonna go sword fight in the park. What are you doing with your girlfriend here? Jeez. No girls allowed. Exactly, Susie. That's why no girls are allowed, because we're gonna sword fight. Thumb independence? I mean, I'm assuming you mean with your left hand, right? The thing to remember about using your thumb on your left hand to push down like the lower E string is you don't really ever gain thumb independence. You learn to do it in certain specific contexts, because it's not usually the case that you're best served by using your thumb on your left hand. It's usually the case that whatever chords and stuff you're trying to play, you don't need to use your thumb. If you're talking about on your right hand, that's a whole different matter. I mean, that's about finger picking, and that should happen naturally if you just practice finger picking. Am I the next Einstein? No. All I want when I grow up is to be left-handed. Oh, for finger picking. Yeah, that'll just happen naturally. It makes more sense as a question if you ask about your left hand, because most people don't ever fret with their thumb on their left hand. They just fret with their fingers. But there are some chords that you're best served to fret with your thumb too. Fret the low E string with your thumb. And I don't blame you. I'm rocking the Doc Brown these days. That's my hairdo. It's the Doc Brown. You know, when I have the comb inside, I like to comb it all as big as I can. And my beard too. Just Can I talk about the difference between ISTP and ISFP? They're quite different, really. ISTPs are dicks, and ISFPs are stubborn. How about that? No offense, Gen Xio. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with being a there's nothing wrong with being a dick necessarily. No, Abraham. Myco Lash Illustratum. As I've indicated recently on a number of occasions, I plan to start campaigning for 2024 sometime after the inauguration. So it's on hold at the moment, as it has been. You know, it's like I originally said I was going to run in 2020. That was about a year and a half ago or something. And then I pretty quickly said, no, I'm going to have to wait till 2024. And I've been maintaining that position ever since. And originally, the reason for that was because I broke up with Kimberly, moved back here, helped with mom, saw how much help mom required, and then And then COVID happened, So, is there a difference about FI between ISTP and INTP, even though it's the same slot? No, but I think there's a difference between FE. Specifically, I mean, maybe as well for FI, but for FE, the ISTP has much more of a harsh sense of justice regarding FE. For example, like an eye for an eye is very much an ISTP concept. INTPs are like, well, hold on a second. Let's hold off and let's not start gouging out eyeballs yet. Okay. So, both ISTPs and INTPs hate being embarrassed. The difference is, if you embarrass an ISTP, you'll discover you've had your tires slashed. Whereas if you embarrass an INTP, you'll make them feel bad about themselves. That's the difference. No, what do you mean no cap? What does that mean exactly? Have you learned the term no cap? I'm curious to know what it means. ISTPs are all about, I don't get mad, I get even. The expression no cap is slang for meaning no lie or for real. Often used to emphasize someone is not exaggerating. I see. I mean, ISTPs are fairly humorless in general. I would say Legend Fall. That makes sense for any polar. Justin Salisbury, I would suggest that indeed. I think you've hit it right on the head there. Okay, ISTPs can be very silly. A drunk ISTP, watching a drunk ISTP being silly is quite a scene. Let me tell you. Yeah, I would use my type system in Office. Well, I mean, look, the thing about typology, or more precisely about a cognitive function taxonomy of human attention / a cognitive function framed process analysis of individuals and their actions and behaviors, has seeped into everything I do, basically. It's impossible to get out of it. It's such a powerful and kind of peremptory metaframe. It's like it takes over. That's true. That's true, Horse Mumbler. Absolutely. I'm really understanding the current moment as well as representing the beginning of a chapter change. This has been a very long, slow chapter of my life. From when Rachel got back here and we got her medication straightened out so that she's mentally stable, until now, has been a very long, boring chapter. Like nothing's happened. It's just the same old, just making live streams, just talking whatever. Well, if an ISTP is facing resistance from a person, their worst nightmare is an ENTP because it's the supervisor type. That's always your worst nightmare to face resistance from. Where do ENFJs fit into an ideal society? I mean, they need to have sort of leadership roles in the right area. If they have leadership roles in the right area, then they can accomplish great things. I think the challenge for ENFJ is to find a place that rewards their kind of attention. You know, it's a lot of FE. A lot of circumstances do. Yes, MT, I believe Biden has the onset stages of dementia, early stages, or not that early even, but like early medium stages of dementia. As a consequence, I won't vote for him. A lot of people would say, well, it's better him with dementia and a competent professional staff than Trump. The argument has some merit, except I don't believe in voting for Kamala Harris with a wink and a nod. You know, she wants to be president. She needs to run for herself. Mark then says, Eric, who is that really chill random ENFJ guy you were talking to on Whereabouts last month? That was Sean. He's here. He's here right now, I think. Mark Dan. I just answered one of his questions. Vote Joe Jorgensen if you think like that, if you're anti-Trump. Okay, well, I was just going to write in my own name, but whatever. So yeah, what do I want to be when I grow up? I would like to be president. I'd also take rock star. Hell, I'd even go for very successful on YouTube. That would be great. I'll put a link to it. It's not really finished. I need to finish writing the whole thing out, but I will put a link to my platform. You can look at it with your eyes. You can read what I say, what I think, how I pay, how I want to be president today. PLATF platform. Realizing the promise of the American democracy. A platform by Eric Strauss. It's my flatform, right? It's a flatform until it's well, first of all, president has no power to establish term limits on Congress. So Congress would have to pass the legislation. And then if you're asking me, would I vote for it? Yeah, I would say yes, probably. I mean, would I sign it? I'd probably say yeah. I'd probably sign it, but I'd have to think about it. It's not a high priority issue for me. I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea that there are certain career politicians. For example, if I were to be a career politician, it would serve the good of the nation. I don't want to be, and I'm not going to be. And I'm only going to run. I'm only going to serve one term as president too. I'm not going to do it for 8 fucking years. Fuck that noise. But that doesn't mean that's now Horace Mumbler. There's a random idea that people throw at me that I actually could sink my teeth into a little bit. Make a channel exclusively for and of videos about my cat. She's a great cat. Have you considered beautician, Diamond? You should be a beautician. What do you want to be when you grow up older? Well, you're going to get your wish for sure then. Lucas Franco wants to be president of his country. You're just like me, Lucas Franco. I want to be president of my country too. I'm already president of your mom's face. You're going to be a dentist who owns their own clinic and hopefully expand. You must be an NTJ. Here's the thing. When I was a little kid and I was asked that question, my first answer early on was dentist, because I was just like, I guess I got to pick some job that exists. I knew dentist for a job, and I was just like, dentist? Like there was somebody else would know what the right answer was, you know? Who do ESFPs, or your least favorite type, tend to think are your favorite type? Because you're a girl, Diamond. Obviously. You got two choices, nurse or beautician. Maybe elementary school teacher. I think that they think my favorite type is INFJ, but probably my favorite type to interact with around here is INTP, to be honest. INTPs are fun. I like interacting with Kyra too. She's fun. She's INFP. What boy would name themselves Diamond? Nobody. I mean, my current plan is to try to get Dave Chappelle to be my vice president. He's an INTP. But it's going to be hard to get Dave Chappelle as my vice presidential candidate, because he's going to be very SC polar and very lazy about it. But that would be perfect. Yeah, you should. Yeah, you need to wear a yellow star or something, Diamond, that says you're a girl. Susie, you can't be vice president. You're not an American citizen. You have to be an American citizen to be vice president. Dave Chappelle is the perfect person to be my vice presidential candidate. Seriously, if I could get Dave Chappelle to be my vice presidential candidate, we'd be golden. Justification is killing me. Killing ain't justified. That song is so good. It's so good. I can't believe it. Well, the thing is, there's going to be I guess it depends on what your purpose is. Union as Z in. It depends what your desired purpose is. If you want to clean out your butthole for butt sex, then you probably want the enema. If you want to check to see if you have prostate cancer, I'd suggest the prostate exam. Oh, it's short for season? Union season? Okay, union season. I'm not shorter than people in Norway. Don't be a prejudiced generalizing stereotyper. Okay? Mark Dan, you're being a prejudiced generalizing stereotyper. I'm not shorter than people in Norway. No cap. There, like that. Like that, Abraham. Yeah, I'm transracial. I'm also transheital. I go from Napoleon to Manute Bol and back again. Well, let me see. Is that true? Foreign policy is international agenda. If you look at pages, I guess this is page 3, 4, and 5. It articulates my international agenda. Military cease live fire military operations except where directly responsive to examples of transgression against the United States. 2, end drone strikes. 3, bring U.S. ground forces home. 4, participate in no UN peacekeeping operations. 5, classify all international criminals as such, denying them the propaganda help in their nefarious interests with words like terrorist. 6, return to Congress power constitutionally afforded it the power to declare war and constrain the executive's ability to use military force barring such a declaration. 7, reduce size of U.S. nuclear arsenal unilaterally while maintaining U.S. nuclear supremacy. 8, reduce the size of the standing army. 9, fulfill all monetary obligations to veterans. Improve healthcare. That's a domestic policy issue. But B, sanctions. End sanctions on Cuba. 2, work with international state interests to reduce trade barriers internationally. 3, empower individuals to bypass state intrusion into international trade via the internet. 4, reduce or remove sanctions on so-called rogue states, acknowledging the abject failure of such policy to effect meaningful change. 5, operate from and understanding the nature of intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, and coercion as aspects of human psychology and behave accordingly. C, hegemony. The U.S. can and should continue to behave as a genuine, strong global hegemon and can currently understand what that means. Real U.S. hegemony does not stem from U.S. exceptionalism, but from U.S. principalism. 2, the U.S. needs respect. Why don't they let me do that? I hate that. There's no reason why I can't say the U.S. need respect, but it says the U.S. needs to respect. It wants me to change to that. The sovereignty of other countries, even while acknowledging that some of those with whom we do business will link to horrific abuses. 3, the real solution to international conflicts of a core value, social justice, autonomous control, and global interconnectedness lies in the preservation of an ecosystem that creates genuine discursive clash in which all parties have as much access to as much information as possible. Our collective affirmation of basic goods like free expression, equality between men and women, tolerance for diversity, and justice in the letter, spirit, and application of the law are virtues we must demonstrate before we can preach them. Diplomacy, treaties and agreements, intelligence bureaus. Is that sufficient coverage of foreign policy for you? It's better than any of the other candidates are doing, that's for sure. You want to see Eric versus Dr. Phil? The melody in that part, it continues to elude me somehow. It's so tricky. It's such a brilliant song. That's that Friday Night at Freddy's 2 is the name of the song. It's also called It's Been So Long. Aren't you an ENTP, Fancy Deluxe? You're an ENFP, aren't you? Pretty sure you already are an ENTP, if I'm not mistaken, mister. Remember, you're not the ordinary kind of Fenty. You're the deluxe kind of Fenty. You know, one of my favorite things that's happened recently is when Rachel sang to the cat, "You are my cat, oh, meow, 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 meow. You're my best cat, oh, meow, 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 meow." I really like that. It really made me laugh. Boy, I've watched a lot of anime lately. I'm a bit of a Japanophile. You know, there's a lot of Americans who are too. It's pretty common, especially for younger people, to be like almost imitation Japanese people, imitate some of the Japanese shit, you know, regardless of their ethnic background. Who's my favorite Attack on Titan character? I mean, it's got to be Hanji. Hanji is my favorite. You know, Attack on Titan did that nothing I would ever imagine would be able to do. It had a torture scene that made me laugh. It's like only the Japanese and their animation can have a scene where the good guys are about to torture somebody and do it in a way that makes me laugh. It was interesting watching Death Note with Rachel. We finished Death Note. Yeah, Levi is the ultimate ISTP badass. You nailed it right on the head there, Mark. Then I almost wanted to pick Levi as my favorite character, but I realized I really like Hanji. Hanji, I think she might be an ENTP, although a weird one. Maybe that's why she's my favorite. Or maybe she's an ESTP. I'm not sure. She makes me laugh, though. That's true, Genexiel. I stand corrected. Genexiel successfully corrects Eric again. I can think of another torture scene that made me laugh. It's in The Princess Bride. That's 2 for you, Genexiel. So yeah, for those who haven't heard, Attack on Titan Season 4 is coming out December 2020. Now, Rachel had, Sean says he can't watch AOT because it's so gruesome and he can't take it. Rachel had trouble, good point. Well, Horse Mumbler, hopefully you'll be there to advise me. I mean, I'm definitely going to have, I want the people around me to be smarter than me, which is something that, is difficult to get in an executive, really. You have to have an executive who's both very smart and who wants to be surrounded by people who are smarter than him. And that's not very common. How does Rachel feel about being a first lady?
I knew that question was coming up. I think I feel good about it. I think I'm a good person to carry the position of first lady. I do care about the rights of the American people and making this place, kind of more of a homegrown, we care about you. We're here to assist you, sort of. So I think, and I'm with Eric everywhere he goes anyway. So I think it's going to be easy.
Yeah, we're basically Siamese twins. Like, we spend an insane amount of time together, right? Like, all of our time, basically.
Yeah, so I think I'm a good candidate.
First lady doesn't have to do a whole lot.
No.
I should also point out.
But I do, like,
some first ladies basically just don't do anything.
Yeah.
And nobody really complains about
I'll probably decorate a little bit.
Yeah. It used to be more of a thing than it is nowadays.
Yeah.
When I grow up, I want to be a conspiracy theorist. I still can't prove that, though. Do you smell the vinegar?
Yes!
What the hell's going on with this vinegar?
No.
If I knew that the joints were going to use so much of the... I forgot about this pipe. Okay. Good. Is there enough that I could have?
Yeah, there's plenty. We got enough for most of today, I think.
Okay.
We've got, this much left.
Oh, that is good for today.
Yeah. I don't think Trump's an ESTP. I think Trump's an ESFP.
Thank you.
When I was a kid, I told my dad I wanted to grow up to be a socialist. He said, "You can't do both."
It's gotta be the mustard.
Is it the
I
mustard?
think so.
Oh. Did you smell over there? Does it smell like vinegar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we figured it out. We figured it out. Yay! The mystery is solved.
I'm happy it wasn't like something from a wild animal.
Yeah, I was thinking too, is it like some sort of decaying wild animal that smells like vinegar? But no, it was the mustard. The mustard. Victor Davis Hanson explicitly wrote this as a guide for future presidents to recognize the right and necessary advisors. Well, I might have to get that book. I might just have to get that book for a Spongler. Look, this is the thing I can guarantee everybody is I am not going to surround myself with yes men, and I'm not going to have turnover of the sort that Trump had. Any stretch of the imagination, I want checks and balances around me. I don't want to be empowered in my inclinations. I want to be able to be making a fully informed decision. I want voices of caution and also voices of decisive action, but both of them to be, well-reasoned positions. I don't think Hillary Clinton's an ISTP. No.
I think she has been widely known as an ESTJ. Like, that seems to be a common typing for her.
I fit the archetype VDH describes her to the archetype for an advisor or for somebody who needs advisors.
I have to say, that peachy shirt just...
It really
does. It suits you.
This shirt, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's my most Bette Midler shirt. It's my new term for when something's really cool. When you're really the shit, you oh my God, that's so Bette Midler.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, utter self, I will. I will not stop Nick Cage and all of his adventures with the National Treasure, okay?
Oh, I forgot he was in those.
Yeah, those are pretty important films. Yeah. That's where I learned American history from. The average person can grow up to 6 feet, but normally they only grow 2. Oh, you're doing a great job today. Yeah, I was thinking we need to have like some sort of app built into YouTube that lets you award points to chatters.
No.
Wouldn't that be cool if they had that built into YouTube where, I can give points for cleverness, and then at the end of the stream, you see who won. That'd be
like the fish hunter thing.
You accept better because it's specifically responsive to the people, right?
Right. That thing is just a mess. Oh.
What did President Nixon sing to his vice president during times of trouble? Did you ever know that you're my Spiro? It's a joke about Spiro Agnew. It's a little dated. But I made it up fairly recently. In the last few years, I made that joke up.
It's a good one.
It is a little dated. You have to know that Nixon's vice president in his first term was Spiro Agnew. Because in his second term, it was Gerald Ford. Is that how it works? I think. Or was it Gerald Ford's vice president was Spiro Agnew? No. At the end. You can probably do something like that with OBS plugins, but I don't really know for sure. I think it's a good idea. I want it to be built into the YouTube thing here. Like, you know how there's this thing here, live chat? I want there to be another little bar over there that's like live chatters and you assign points to them. Oh, wait, so Spiro Agnew was his VP all the way, but then Ford at the very end. So Agnew resigned first before Nixon did? Is that what happened? Would an unhealthy, narcissistic ESTP just let anyone who gave them a genuine reason to dislike them back into their lives just for giving them some praise because they can't maintain distance? No, that doesn't sound narcissistic. That sounds more like being a victim than it does like victimizing. Oh, I see. Oh, I think you sold me on that book now. Now I want to read it. In December 73, 2 months after the resignation of Spiro Agnew, Ford became the first appointed to the vice presidency under the terms of the 25th Amendment by President Richard Nixon. Oh, well, thanks for filling in my knowledge gaps there, Janexiel. I appreciate it. It's getting cool though, isn't it?
It is.
You know, it's like last night when I changed rooms, I frequently do during the night a couple of times.
I didn't even know.
I switched like 4 times, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. When I went from room to room, it was very cold outside.
Yeah, the nights have been getting cold.
I said, "Brr."
You did?
I did.
Wow, that means it is cold because you're pretty tolerant. Look at this. You're preening.
My wife told me to grow up and stop believing everything I see on the internet. Well, I don't need this. There are young singles in my area literally dying to meet me.
That's great optimism.
Rachel Appelos, Eric is ignoring me. You should take these tests.
Mark, let me see.
I'm not ignoring you, Gen X. I mean, Octavia Silva. I'm just not reading your chats.
Human benchmark? Uh-oh.
She wants you to take like the verbal memory test.
Okay.
Like those things.
This is hard. I will do it though.
I mean, I did badly on almost all of them.
Okay. All right, so I'll do it on Eric's laptop.
Yeah, I can't do it on my phone. Thank you, Octavia Silva. Oh my gosh. Watch my Twitter.
That was a nice bell ringer. It's a good one. Another foot pun. Good. Took me a while to get that one. Weed Mart is once again sending me texts. Weed Mart is like sends me like 3 texts a day. It's about time for me to say stop already. I don't even shop there anymore. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. I think I'm going to wrap up this stream now. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wrap up this stream now, and I'll stream again later today. And have a nice day. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese.